Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are getting into bourbons I just keep coming back to on a daily basis. But before we get into that, please do me that favor, like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us out a ton, and we seriously appreciate the support. But let's get into today's video. So this video is going to kind of be a tangent of that daily drinker type video. That being said, it's not going to be your stereotypical, these are my top 5 daily drinkers. It's going to be a bourbon under $30, so on and so forth. This is more of a personal, like, these are the bourbons I find myself gravitating towards on a daily basis, or more often than not when I am drinking. Because again, I don't drink every single day, but these are the ones that I'm really gravitating towards when I am. So for me, this video is obviously very personalized, so there's not really statistics of, you know, it's like, oh, the bourbon has to be under $30, or oh, it needs to be findable. That being said, I find looking at the bottles I got right here that I'm about to bring up, I will gravitate towards a sub $50 bourbon that is super easily findable, whereas I can go to Total Wine 5 minutes down the road, purchase that SOB, and then be home and drinking it within 10 minutes. So that's where I kind of gravitate towards on whiskey. So to kick it off with a banger, a Costco buy that is just a great steal. Actually, the first two are going to be Costco steals, if you will. Woodford Reserve. Just a normal Woodford bourbon. This is damn good Brown-Forman juice. Really enjoyed this. Love that whole Brown-Forman nutty banana type thing they got going on in here. Really enjoy Brown-Forman Woodford Reserve. This is like, if you've paid attention in the past, the batch proof of this is probably one of my favorite bottles every single year. This is such a great bottle. Usually it's a little bit on the pricier side, like 30-ish bucks. Got a handle of it. This specific handle at Costco for like 45 or something like that. So a great freaking steal for this at that price point. So that's been a daily drinker ever since then. And honestly, if once I kill that, I go back to Costco and there's another handle of that, I am buying another one. Followed by another one that I do actually have a handle of. This is just a smaller bottle. Elijah Craig Small Batch. This has been my go-to daily drinking budget bourbon for literally the past like 2-3 years. This is such a great stereotypical traditional bourbon. This checks all those stereotypical boxes. It's not overly nutty, not overly sweet. It has everything you want to see in a stereotypical type bourbon, but nothing that like really throws it in one direction or the other. So I love that it is just a really good. It's sweet, has that cherry, that oak, a little bit of nuttiness, that vanilla caramel, like everything you want to see in a bourbon without going too far in one specific direction or the other. And on top of those being daily drinkers, they're daily drinkers on the budget side, which is freaking great because, you know, with some of this whiskey, your pocketbook needs a rest. And after that one that most of you probably won't be surprised, Doc Swensons Blender's Cut. This is a bottle I'm going to when I want something a little bit higher proof. This bottle is still under $50. I think it's like $49.99, so it's just barely under $50. But honestly, you know, a lot of the stuff I have nowadays is around $65, $70, so sub $50 is a huge win. This is 5-year-old MGP that's blended together by Doc Swensons at 115 proof. This is such a great freaking steal. $50 for 115 proof 5-year-old MGP. Great. It's, again, not the most amazing MGP you're ever going to have. Like, it's not comparative to those $100 Nulu picks or anything like that. That being said, for $50, this is out of this freaking world great. Absolutely love this. And again, it is that kind of stereotypical 5-year-old MGP just blended together really well. And what I will say is I have done a comparison between that bottle and the Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, the younger, whatever that's called. And that bottle shit stomped Smoke Wagon so freaking hard. Like, it was noticeable. Like, Smoke Wagon was left far in the dust. So that is a great bottle. Love Doc Swenson's. I'm a huge Doc Swenson fanboy, so take it as you will. But man, that bottle is freaking great. And after that one, a bottle that you probably won't be too surprised, Jim Beam Single Barrels. You know, I like that Jim Beam. I like that nutty flavor profile. I like that Heaven Hill. I like the Elijah Cray. Like, I like MGP, but I also do like a lot of those nuttier type whiskeys. And I'll be honest with you, Old Granddad 114 used to be a hitter for me. It used to be a daily drink-in, buy. I constantly have it, so on and so forth. That being said, I don't know, it kind of lost its thrill. It's a little youthy to me. It's a little lackluster. Whereas this Jim Beam Single Barrel has kind of parts of that, but it's a little bit older and it's a little bit proof down, so it's not just so much proof for proof's sake. So it is that kind of stereotypical Jim Beam nutty, you know, a little bit of that like fruity characteristic, some nice sweetness, that typical Jim Beam nutty bourbon in this, but at 108 proof for like 30-35 bucks. Great steal. I mean, the branding isn't perfect. It's basic Beam branding, but when you can't find a, you know, Knob Creek Single Barrel for under $50, that'll kind of the poor man's Knob Creek Single Barrel, if you will. And the next one, which if we're being honest, has been a new development, a bottle that I've talked a lot of mad crap about, really found that I like it in blinds and whatnot. It's somehow become my daily drinker. Jack Daniel's Bonded. This bottle becoming my daily drinker started with me finding the whole Traveler's exclusive limited one from a military post when I was on orders, traveling and all that jazz. So I brought one home and I was like, man, this is the bottled and bond version of Jack Daniel's we all really, really wanted. Then I compared it to this, and I'll be honest with it. This is not really half as good as that stuff is. That being said, this has really grown on me when I'm looking for like kind of a sweeter Brown-Forman side, because Brown-Forman is kind of a sweeter flavor profile, like that, you know, Woodford and whatnot, that banana. It's a really sweet kind of flavor. This one, it's really, really heavy in that sweet banana with a smidge of nuttiness. Again, not the greatest bottle, but for $30, I'm really enjoying this, at least currently throughout the summer. Because again, I did get that bonded bottle, or the bottled and bond, about 4 or 5 months ago, and that's kind of when it got hot here, and I'm really, really enjoying that Jack Daniel's Bonded. So maybe that bottle for me just has a time and place, because I know all 2022 I was kind of ragging on it, but yeah, I'm kind of digging it right now. It's doing good things for me. So last one on the bourbon, but I will be honest, there are 2 honorable mentions that are not bourbon. Still Austin Cash Strength. Whichever one you can get. Still Austins are freaking monsters. These are great, great bourbons. We can get in here in Arizona, the Still Austin, the lower proof, I think it's 100 proof or something like that. We can get that for $40, and we can get the Cash Strength 118 proof for $50, $49.99 for right now, at least. Fingers crossed it stays that way, because this is, again, one of my greatest daily drinkers. Not so much during the summer. I haven't been polishing this one off half as much as I have in the past, especially like that bonded. That being said, this is awesome. You know, I love Texas. I love Southwest type flavoring. I love that crafty style, that like that Southwest style of oak, that like youthy, intense oak flavor that you get in hotter climates that are dry. I love that, and that's what this has, but it's more of a stereotypical kind of flavor profile as well, where it's not too crafty, not too funky. So it is just like, again, I say it all the time, it's like blending MGP with craft from Texas to create just some sort of hybridization of, you know, what could be like a semi-Texas bourbon. That being said, this is 100% Texas, and it's 100% freaking great. And again, like I said, honorable mentions. These ones, I'm going to kind of go Texas, and then we'll go Arizona craft. Balcones Lineage. This is $35 American single malt from Balcones. It is, let's see, 36 months old in oak. So I'm assuming they're using younger or like kind of smaller casks, because since this is a younger product, it brings a lot of age and a lot of intensity at that. So I think they're using smaller casks, but this is a great offering from Balcones. Really enjoy their single malts, and I love that they're releasing, you know, multiple different offerings, because that is kind of that budget minded one. I really like their $50-$60 one that's just their traditional malt, and then I really love the cash strength picks I have, but again, those are $100, you know, the other one's like 60 some bucks, maybe even 70 in some locations. This one's 35. So I love having that like accessible, like single malt that I can just go to. And last but not least, Blue Ridge 100% blue corn whiskey. So this is a local AZ craft blue corn. It's coming from Adventurous Stills. That's actually the company I work from. So, you know, take that as you will. I'm obviously a little biased, but this is one of my go-to pours nowadays, especially right now. It is a limited at our location, but 47.5% ABV. So that 95 proof, really crushable. I love that blue corn, because blue corn creates a kind of earthier flavor profile. So it's like this like earthy corn sweetness with this like red fruits, stone fruits. It's a great pour, especially during the summer. So I've been gravitating to that a lot, you know, as you can clearly tell, and I got a few backups. I ain't worried about it, but those are my go-to pours, at least right now. These are the ones I'm finding myself gravitating towards when I'm, you know, looking for a pour of whiskey. It's the end of the night. I'm coming into the bar, you know, no special occasion. I just want a nice pour. These are the ones that I'm finding are readily available, easily findable in my area, that are an instant freaking buy. So that is a wrap for today's video. Please do me that favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below, what are your kind of gravitational bourbons, whatever we want to call it, you know, not necessarily daily drinkers, because that implies like it's cheaper, but what are ones that you're really just kind of gravitating towards when you're looking for a pour? Also, check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Patreon. Links for all that stuff are down there below. That's a wrap for today's video. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.